Hello and welcome to Monday's Granada Reports. We are live across the northwest.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Here's what's coming up on tonight's programme.
People like me are being pointed as a terrorist. Well, the law is an ass.
A 74-year-old arrested at a pro-Palestine protest fears for the future of free speech.
The new car accessory which is helping breast cancer patients get back behind the wheel.
A cut above, the hairdresser challenging the industry when it comes to Afro-textured hair.
We've got all your sport and it looks like Jack Grealish could be on his way down the M62.
I figured it was some stupid dream, or I don't know, in my brain, but then it happened again.
The frightening tale that's got Stacey Dooley investigating again. She's here with real-life partner Kevin Clifton, and it's going to be a scream.
And not exactly typical British summer weather, but by Wednesday, some of us will be into the third heat wave of the year. All the details coming up shortly.
So please do stay with us. But first tonight, the Liverpool pensioner who fears for the future of free speech after she was arrested under terrorism laws. 74-year-old Audrey White was detained at a demonstration for Palestine in her home city of Liverpool last month.
Yeah, weeks earlier, it became a criminal offence to be a member of Palestine Action or show support for the group. And just this weekend, hundreds were arrested at a demonstration in central London. Well, Mrs White, a lifelong campaigner for various causes, hasn't been charged and says her bail restrictions just didn't make sense. She's been speaking to Tim Scott.
To cries of shame on you, Merseyside police arrest 74-year-old Audrey White for holding a piece of paper supporting Palestine Action. Just weeks before, support for Palestine Action had been criminalised under new anti-terror legislation.
I was absolutely quite violently manhandled, and then I was carried really, I felt brutally. My clothes were very dishevelled. It showed all my back at one time. Put into a police van. I've never been arrested before, and I've never even been cautioned before. So it was terrible. It was shocking.
What was going through your mind?
I was thinking, well, this isn't Britain clamping down on free speech. And I kept thinking it was only a piece of paper, and it's about genocide.
Audrey was taken to a police station and held for 8 hours. But when she was bailed by police, she noticed an issue with the bail conditions they were trying to impose. She was prevented from going to the area outlined in black in Liverpool city centre. But the red dot is the area where Audrey lives, inside the prohibited zone. When this was pointed out to an officer, she got nowhere.
He went away and checked for us, and came back and said, no, you don't live there, you live off them. So I don't know whether that was deliberate. If it wasn't deliberate, I don't think the police that incompetent? I don't know.
It meant that for 2 weeks, Audrey was virtually under house arrest. She was told she could attend medical appointments, but could be arrested again if she went to the shops to buy food.
Probably quite a few members of the public think, well, this is not my view of what terrorism legislation is about. And it may well be that in time Parliament needs to reflect and say, really, is this the situation we wanted to get ourselves into?
You knew what you were doing was breaking the law. Will you not accept that the police were just doing the job and they were right to arrest you for breaking the law?
No, I don't think they were right to arrest me. We won't be looked upon as terrorists or criminals. We'll be admired by people, and hopefully what we do will help to stop genocide.
Audrey's bail conditions have now been relaxed, and she's yet to be charged with an offence. But after over 500 more arrests of Palestine Action supporters over the weekend, questions remain regarding the fairness and effectiveness of the new anti-terror legislation. Tim Scott, ITV News, Liverpool.
Well, we've approached both Merseyside and Greater Manchester police forces about Audrey and have yet to receive a response.
And following that large number of arrests in the capital on Saturday, the Home Secretary said today people need to understand more about Palestine Action.
There may be people who are objecting to prescription who don't know the full nature of this organisation because of court restrictions on reporting while serious prosecutions are underway. But it's really important that no one's in any doubt that this is not a non-violent organisation.
Well, next tonight, the sister of a Cheshire man killed by a drunk driver has welcomed plans to overhaul road safety laws. Tim Burgess from Frodsham was killed in a head-on crash in Northwich last summer. A proposal to cut the drink drive limits is just one of the measures the government is said to be considering to reduce the numbers of deaths on our roads. Well, our political correspondent Leisha McNally is in Westminster for us tonight. So, Leisha, what can you tell us about the plans?
Well, it would be the biggest shake-up to driving laws in 2 decades and something that both the government and campaigners say is long overdue. At the moment, more than 1,500 people a year are killed on Britain's roads and many thousands more are injured. It's the equivalent of a serious casualty every 18 minutes. So now the government is set to publish its road safety strategy in a bid to bring those numbers down. And they include plans to give people over the age of 70 mandatory eye tests. Drivers could also be given points on their licence for not wearing a seatbelt. The legal drink drive limit could be lowered. And police could be allowed to base drug driving prosecutions on quick roadside saliva tests. That's instead of blood tests, which can take weeks or even months to come back. Now, these reforms would be very welcome news to one family from Cheshire, the family of Tim Burgess, who was killed by a dangerous driver last year. They have fought for these changes.
And there's far too much complacency around road deaths. We need urgent reform, and I'm very pleased that the government are finally looking at this. My brother Tim was killed by a driver who was high on drink and drugs and was out on bail for a crash 10 days previously where he was also on drink and drugs. So effectively he's been killed by an outdated system which needs urgent modernisation.
And this is a real North West campaign through and through. It was also one of Lancashire's most senior coroners who raised the alarm about deaths from poor eyesight. So what happens next is the government will publish the strategy and then there'll be a public consultation. Some of the changes will need to go through Parliament as they require a change in the law, but Tim's family is urging MPs to back them.
Leisha, many thanks indeed.
The family of a teenage kickboxing champion from Liverpool who died after an unsanctioned fight have met with the Minister for Culture, Media and Sport. Alex Eastwood was 15 when he died of a head injury. His parents met with Lisa Nandy to discuss their campaign for more safeguards for children who take part in combat sports. They hope to bring about lasting change for other kickboxers in their son's memory.
For us, children should not be fighting in an unsanctioned, unregulated fight. This should be made illegal in our eyes. It's, you're playing with children's lives. If you've got the right regulation in place and the right protection in place, that's going to protect children going forward.
Well, next, and we're meeting a woman who's trying out a new way to help those who've had surgery for breast cancer.
Yeah, diabetes nurse Nicola Houghton is a former patient of the Royal Liverpool Hospital, where volunteers have been given an accessory designed to make wearing a seatbelt far less painful.
The support belt is made of a soft foam and designed for those who've had a mastectomy or the removal of breast tissue. Our correspondent Rob Smith has this report.
Opening and closing some fasteners changes how Nicola Houghton can drive. The nurse from Liverpool's lived with rib pain in the driving seat ever since surgery, radiotherapy and chemo for breast cancer.
Many find it hard to wear a seatbelt properly after surgery.
A team of car designers in America created a seatbelt cushion to relieve pressure while staying safely in place. And dozens of patients over here are among those trying it out.
The first time I used it was when I went on a long journey to Wales.
What difference does it make to your pain while you're driving?
So it's made a massive difference. It feels like it shields it. It feels like it's more comfortable because of the cushion from the seatbelt.
You can drive without thinking about it?
But yeah, I can drive without thinking about it.
Tomorrow I'll ask them to come in at 2 o'clock.
The breast cancer team at Royal Liverpool are helping those in their care to use the new device. They see firsthand every day the result of transport meeting treatment after effects.
For a lot of ladies, it can be a worrying thing, and the uncomfortableness of the journey in the car can stop them from perhaps going out to see people, and it will keep them more at home rather than doing things that they would usually like to do or need to do for their treatment. So having this can then improve that.
Improve it not just for those being treated now. The support group which worked to bring the seatbelt cushion to the UK believes it's game-changing for those living with pain and discomfort long term.
When we advertised it among the group, we had people who had had the operation 17 years ago who came in and said, please can I have one? Because for 17 years it's been difficult driving the car, who now will keep hold of that seatbelt.
A belt which Nicola says gives cancer patients and survivors like her freedom to drive. Rob Smith, ITV News, Liverpool.
Yes, incredible stuff.
Yeah, so simple but such a great idea.
Coming up on the programme.
Revelations from Stacey Dooley about partner Kevin Clifton's dodgy dad dancing at parties.
And in the weather, keep calm in the heat. The third heat wave of the year is on the way for some of us, not for the Isle of Man or the north particularly, but still feeling warm. All the details coming up shortly.
Well, next tonight, and it's emerged the northwest as the least accommodating region in England for afro-textured hair, with data suggesting we'd need 6 times more salons to meet demand. And in fact, 70% of British black women say they feel let down by high street beauty retailers and salons.
But in Manchester, Hair King Callum is challenging the industry. He's gaining popularity on Instagram and TikTok by creating an inclusive space that caters to all hair types. Lucille Robbie has been to meet him.
My name's Pink and I'm really glad to meet you. You're recommended to me by some people.
On social media, he's known for his styling skills and feel-good transformations. But in real life, this Manchester stylist is redefining what a salon can be by embracing and catering to all hair textures.
Everyone should be welcome in a chair, not just selected people because you know how to do it.
Hair King Callum's message is simple. Inclusive hair care should be the standard and not the exception.
There's a sense of trust that is built and relief. Being able to walk into a space and have everything that you could possibly imagine in front of you without having to be turned around and said, no, I can't do that. I think it's a relief and also a direction that we are moving forward. Even if it's slow, it's still being moved forward.
Since 2021, UK hairdressing standards now require students to learn afro and textured hair care, ensuring all students can work with diverse hair types.
You might think this is just another trip to the hairdressers, but this is where Hair King Callum is flipping the script, creating a space where every curl, coil and wave is welcome.
I had to go to a certain type of hairdresser. I couldn't just walk into, say, a branded hairdresser or just a local hairdresser, can you do my hair? It don't work like that. So, yeah, for me to have more opportunities and more places I can go to, it's just amazing.
Lavia went to many hair salons over the years and was often turned away.
All of them had either said, we don't offer services for afro hair, or her hair is too unmanageable, I can't do it, or it was, I can do it, but only if I straighten it. I hadn't been to a hairdresser's in 5 or 6 years. I just hated the experience.
Before she became a client of Callum's, Lavia had suffered a brain tumour.
I'd had loads of my hair shaved off, and I just thought, I don't know what, I stopped caring about it because I just thought, well, I've lost it now, haven't I? All that language about my hair not mattering and not being good enough, that was true. And then I came here and I've never had to apologise once about my hair being knotty, about being dry, about being difficult, anything like that. And that's why I keep coming back.
With more than 3 million likes on TikTok and a salon that's always buzzing, Callum is proving that representation matters. But that doesn't mean his social media journey has been without its challenges.
A lot of the time it's you don't belong in our space, get your hands out of my hair or our hair. And I understand why. It's a hard thing to see someone that is not in a certain culture, also a white man taking a space. But I know that for what it's worth for the clients that I do, that's the reason why I carry on. I have clients that are 60 that have never seen their hair in the way that they should because no one's been able to do it. So that is just a feeling that I can't describe. It's priceless. There you go.
By championing all hair textures, Hair King Callum is helping to shape an industry where no one is left out or left behind the chair. Lucille Brobby, ITV News, Manchester.
Great work. Right, time for sport now. And Everton are closing in on a big name signing, David.
Yes, that's right. David Moyes, the Everton boss, is desperate for reinforcements. It looks like Jack Grealish could be on his way. It's understood the Manchester City forward has agreed to join the Toffees on a season-long loan. Well, the treble winner, who's now 29, has fallen down the list of first-choice starters at City and wasn't part of their squad for the Club World Cup. Well, Everton's need to strengthen showed as their first game in front of a capacity crowd at their new Hill Dickinson Stadium ended in a 1-0 defeat to the Italians Roma. That game saw a first appearance for their new £28 million signing from Chelsea, Kiernan Dewsbury Hall.
I did enjoy it, I have to admit. I mean, it all started from the reception from that I and the lads got. It was so loud, it was a bit overwhelming. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it, and it just, if that's a taste of what's to come, and obviously we're going to improve and do well, and then I'm really happy.
Absolutely fantastic. Just the atmosphere in there was just incredible. It was just great to see so many fans, 50,000 fans plus, to actually fill the stand. All the stands is brilliant.
Such a good atmosphere because there's more people, so it makes the atmosphere louder. It was so good. Honestly, it's like a feeling that you just want to capture in a bottle and keep it forever.
Now there's some breaking news at Morecambe with the owner Jason Whittingham ending his silence on their ongoing problems. In a statement released through the club, he says takeover talks are continuing with a number of interested buyers, including the Punjab Warriors. He added that all parties are aware of the urgency to secure Morecambe's future and expects the process to be completed this week. Well, the team are currently suspended from the National League and could be expelled next week if their financial problems aren't resolved. Well, ahead of kicking off the new Premier League season on Friday, Arne Slot says Liverpool need to do better after defeating the Community Shield to Crystal Palace. Despite taking the lead twice at Wembley through new signings Hugo Ekitike and Jeremy Frimpong, sloppy defensive play allowed Palace to equalise. They then went on to win 3-2 on penalties at the end of 90 minutes. Well, ahead of the game, there were more tributes to former Reds forward Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva, who died in a car crash last month. A minute's silence was cut short, though, due to shouting in the Palace end. However, Slot doesn't believe it was done with bad intentions.
I don't think this was planned or this was the idea of the fan that made some noise. Maybe he wasn't aware of the fact that it was the minute of silence. He was just still happy and tried to cheer for his team. I don't think he had a bad intention, the guy or people that made noise. Then they tried to calm him down, but that was a bit noisy as well. And then our fans reacted on, hey, what's happening here?
Now, Manchester United's latest signing, striker Benjamin Šeško, says he's joined the club because it has a bright future. The 22-year-old Slovenia international was paraded on the pitch at Old Trafford, along with United's other summer recruits ahead of their friendly with Italian side Fiorentina. Despite interest from Newcastle, he joined United for £74 million, saying everything is in place for the team to grow and compete for the biggest trophies again soon. Now, it was the return of the Championship this weekend, but sadly neither Blackburn or Preston could start with a win. Rovers lost at West Brom and North End came from behind to draw 1-1 at QPR. While in League One, Stockport made it 2 wins from 2 as they beat Wickham 2-1 away. After defeat to County on the opening day, Bolton were 2-0 winners at home against Plymouth. Blackpool and Wigan both lost, so on to League Two, where Crewe are the early leaders after beating Accrington 2-0. Just behind them are Fleetwood, who won 2-1 against Bristol Rovers. Tranmere were our biggest winners of the weekend, putting 4 past Shrewsbury to win 4-0. Salford picked up their first win of the season, beating Notts County 2-1. And newly promoted Oldham's first home game back in the Football League after 3 years away ended in a 1-1 draw with Colchester. Well, there was a special guest at Tranmere's match as Prenton Park honoured Wirral's Euros winner Niamh Charles. The Lioness and Chelsea defender got a hero's welcome as she returned home to the Northwest after helping England retain the Euros. She was one of the penalty takers to score in that memorable win over Spain in the final.
Yeah, I think it's really nice. We celebrated in Switzerland, then we celebrated obviously with the public outside Buckingham Palace, which was incredible, and then to come back home as well. It's a bit full circle, and yeah, I'm very, very proud to be from here. It's been really nice to hear, with my family, everyone around them, they're saying they're coming up to them, congratulating them, and even today to see people that I haven't seen in a while, and also people from the local area coming up. It's really, really special to see how much it means to them as well. I think the whole tournament, the way it went, it was so many ups and downs in every game, that every game sort of had its own storyline, and I think it was really special that we were able to do it again.
Yeah, great to see Neve back in the Northwest. Well, to cricket, and the Manchester Originals men will try to pick up their first win in the 100 when they take on London Spirit at Emirates Old Trafford this evening. Sadly, the Originals women's team couldn't make it back-to-back wins in their competition. After victory over the Oval Invincibles on Saturday today, they lost by 3 wickets to the Spirit. And finally, Warrington's darts world champion Luke Littler showed he's the Wizard of Oz as he added another major title to his collection. The 18-year-old is now the Australian Masters champion after beating Belgium's Mike de Decker 8-4 in the final. Yeah, and afterwards his opponent jokingly told him to retire because he's not making darts fun anymore, he's just winning too much.
That's what I keep saying to you, isn't it? I'm joking. I'm joking.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
David, thank you.
Next, they were Glitterball champions who swapped sequins and spray tans for supernatural ghost stories as they tread the boards playing husband and wife.
Yeah, we're talking about Stacey Dooley and Kevin Clifton. They were paired up as dance partners on Strictly back in 2018 now, and they've been inseparable ever since.
Since settling down with their daughter Minnie, they've now made their move to the Northwest, made it their home, and this week their tour of 222 has arrived at Manchester Opera House.
Yeah, and they popped in to see us a little earlier on and started by telling me what the play is all about.
We all know like what a whodunit is. This is basically, is there a ghost or isn't there? So the character that Stace plays, called Jen, we play a married couple. We've moved into this new house and Jen is convinced that there's a ghost in the house that keeps haunting their newborn baby at 2:22 a.m.
And you're playing a married couple, aren't you, with a baby?
Yeah.
How difficult was it to get into character?
This is it, I know. When we were sort of flirting with the idea of, you know, giving acting a bit of a go, this felt like the perfect entry level, do you know what I mean? Because it's not a million miles away from what my life looks like. I was sort of reading the script, I was like, oh, it's a knackered mum, she had a little girl. I thought, yeah, we can do this.
Yeah, it felt really exciting, because we haven't worked together since Strictly.
Yeah.
How have you found it working together?
Yeah, golden. I mean, I think we thought it was going to be a bit more awkward.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like when you're not allowed to laugh in school.
Yeah.
It was going to feel a bit like that. But actually, like, you're really professional and...
You've now got another week left, haven't you, in Manchester with 222. And what have the audiences been like up here?
Saturday, they were really revved up, weren't they?
Yeah.
And it's amazing when you can hear them, like, gasping, do you know what I mean? Or when something becomes apparent, or they've put 2 and 2 together and there's a revelation or whatever, and people scream, don't they?
Yeah, and it's quite jumpy, the show, because, like, we're trying to figure out, is there a ghost, isn't there? And there's things happening that are making you jump.
So Kev's character, he's a bit sort of sanctimonious at times. And there's only 4 actors, and the other lady, Lauren, she sort of tells him off. And the woman in the crowd goes, "You tell him!" They're good fun.
Yeah. Regional theatre crowds on the whole are much more exciting than like West End crowds.
West End's a bit sort of,
Sit back and impress me.
Yeah, they'll be there.
Yeah. Everyone gets involved, especially up north. Like everyone gets involved here.
And you've got your little girl now, haven't you? And you're taking her on tour with you.
She's coming along for the ride. She's such a good sport, isn't she? Love her.
Dragging her around the country.
We usually, I've dragged her around the world. She was in America when she was 8 months old. But she loves it, she's golden.
Yeah, and it's almost like you're performing on home turf in Manchester, isn't it? Because you guys have actually moved to the Northwest.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm a Northwest hun.
Yeah, we live in Liverpool. We get to stay at home, actually, while we're doing Manchester, which is a real treat. So we've been sort of playing with Minnie in the day and then off to work, the pair of us, in the evening.
You must be shattered all night, all day.
I'm doing the hoovering. I'm sort of like doing the hoovering and emptying the dishwasher and begging her to put, her shoes on. And then we go to work for a couple of hours, and that's your time off, isn't it? You just think, oh, this is great, this is lovely.
Obviously, you guys met on Strictly. You were Strictly champions. Do you still have a little dance round the house?
I'd probably be dancing around the house more than Kev, actually. The baby loves to dance as well, so the pair of us will have the radio on or whatever. He can't dance socially.
No.
It's very bizarre.
I'm terrible.
How can you have such rhythm in one...
I don't know what to do, just dancing naturally without choreography.
I get that.
I'm just like... I'm that guy with a drink, pretending I've seen someone over there.
Well, listen, all the best with the run.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thanks so much for coming in to see us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Oh, what a lovely couple.
Oh, they were so down to earth, and he's got your dance moves, come on. He's robbed them from you.
Well, I was going to say, like, going to work for a break from the kids, I can definitely relate with that. Here's Emma with the weather.
Why do I need a shower? I've been out in the rain.
The faster you go, the sooner you'll be out. You'll save water too.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada Weather.
Hello there, hope you've had a good day, warm and sticky out there. Lovely over the weekend for Blackpool Air Show, always a fantastic sight, and a little bit cloudy at times. However, we're seeing a lot of sunshine now. Things really are hotting up, especially the further south you are. Yesterday through Cheshire, temperatures of 26 Celsius, which is just pushing into the heatwave criteria. And I think by Wednesday, many of us will be in the third heatwave of the year so far. But no heat waves for the Isle of Man, just warm up towards the north of the patch and also through parts of the Lake District. Temperatures peaking tomorrow, maybe some isolated thunderstorms as well, but more on that in just a second. So taking a closer look, high pressure's out to the east, low pressure to the west, the air rotating clockwise around the high, anti-clockwise around the low, drawing up this plume of warm air from the near continent, more of a south-southeasterly direction to be a bit more precise, but that's why things are heating up so quickly. And also a lot of activity in the upper atmosphere at the moment, so there are some thunderstorms but way up high. I don't think any of this precipitation that the computer model's picking up will actually reach the ground. There may be an odd spit of light rain or drizzle, but most of it is going to stay high up, so it should stay dry, shouldn't reach the ground. However, you might just hear an odd rumble of thunder in the distance. Temperatures just shy of a tropical 20 there, feeling close and uncomfortable for sleeping, and the sun's up tomorrow about 5:45 in the morning. So it's going to be a fine day, bright, some sunny spells, wispy cloud drifting around, maybe a spit of drizzle out of that, but temperatures really pushing up and responding to the sunshine, up to 31 Celsius, that's the upper 80s Fahrenheit. Still warm on Wednesday, not quite as warm, maybe some isolated rumbles of thunder later. Bye-bye.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada Weather.
Be a scorcher. Please get the sun cream on, folks.
Absolutely. Well, that's it from us tonight here on Granada Reports. Make sure you join us tomorrow when we'll have the first in a series of special reports to mark Victory in Japan Day.
We'll be hearing from the son of a man from Manchester who appeared in the Calling Blighty films, which were messages sent back from the Far East that were then played to relatives in local cinemas.
Yeah, it looks great. Join us for that. There's lots more as well. But for now, whatever you're up to, have a very lovely evening and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.